All right. I don't know why my camera's wobbling. Is this going to be what it's like the whole time? Hold on. Super unprofessional start. Super unprofessional start, but this is also the greatest podcast for elite losers. And if you caught me walking into frame, you'll see that I'm just wearing boxers because I got a new pair of boxers and my stuff's at the laundry. And you would say, well, how many pairs of my stuff? My shorts are at the laundry, and how many shorts could one guy have that he runs out of all of them and they're at the laundromat? Well, I have two pairs of shorts, three. One I wear when I go to sleep. You just watched me break it fast. One I wear when I go to sleep, so I have three, and then two I wear out in public, and one goes to the gym, so I can't wear that, and so I have one pair of shorts. I just ordered a second pair of shorts, so I have technically four shorts, but only two are wearable in public. So I don't want to be in pants right now. It's 100 degrees in New York City. Hopefully the camera's still not shaking. But again, this is the greatest podcast for elite losers. And I have incredible boxer shorts. I still like cotton. I like I don't know why. I don't like that any other fabric. I like whatever they used to make tighty whities with, but I don't wear tighty whities. And not because I leave skid marks, but my late stepfather, very successful lawyer, would leave incredibly big skid marks in his underwear. And even as a young boy at 10 or 11 years old, I would see them like when I would go say goodnight to my parents. I would see them on the floor, skid marks on the floor in his white underwear. And I said two things. One, I'm never wearing white underwear. I'm not that guy. I'm not white underwear guy. Because if this guy is successful and he's still flawed in his underwear, I'm surely I'm going skid marks. Oh my God! It would look like the final corner of a racetrack going into the final stretch, where it's more than skid marks. It'd be like years of racing on my underwear. That's what I was. So I'm like black underwear only. But I do have a bidet, so maybe that's a difference too. I don't even know how skid marks have. You're disgusting. Anyways, and that actually is a good segue because I have some very few fans. The ones who are here, you're a little crazy. You might deny it. You might be like the comedians who really suck. Like there's some comedians that really suck, but they keep on doing it for like 20 years and they've never progressed. They might have gotten worse, but they still do comedy. And that's what I like to think of if I have fans. You think you're normal, but you're not, which is good. I like that. I appreciate that. This is the cult of the crazies, the greatest podcast for elite losers. But I had one OnlyFans chick sneak into the DMs, immediately great, sending me like dirty pictures, immediately fantastic. She knows I'm into watching her get banged out by other dudes. We're 3 for 3 right now. 3 for 3. We're cooking. But also in the back of my head, someone who sneaks into my DMs and is sexy. Oh, the level of mental illness. They have to be. They can't watch my stuff and like, hey, I'm just an outlier. Maybe. Maybe that's why you like me. You're like, we're just two outliers. But also, we could also just be two mentally ill people getting together. Like, I was at a show last night, and there was a couple. Clearly, they're both off their rockers, right? They're not. No one sane's going to date them. And you can say, like, who's really normal? Fair point. But who's really crazier? Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's people who are like, nobody's really normal. It's all facade. But there's also people who are just fucking psychotic. And these two people at the show were. And so is this OnlyFans chick. Very sexy. sending me videos, loving her. And then I'm at a show one night and I get a video and it's her like on her back, legs in the air. It's her panties are still on. Everything's great, but I can't hear nothing. And then I go back to my place. You know, we're going to have a little fun with the video, a little alone time with the video. And I listen to the sound and she's just farting. She's just flatulating right into the phone. And I'm like disgusted. And I'm so mad. I'm just so mad. Is that how the world perceives me? I'm the guy who likes farts? I'm the fart guy? Some sexy chick thought it'd be hot. Like, who's out there? I know there's a lot of fart guys out there because there's toe guys out there. But I'm not one. I don't like that. I think it's gross. I think couples that like to Dutch oven each other, they think it's funny. I don't think it's fun. Look, if I'm with my boys and someone's ripping ass, round of applause. But not someone where I'm going to put my fucking face down there. I'm not a fan. I'm a fan of gasoline. I go to the the gas station. Oh man, I'm whiffing all day long, bro. I'm what's his name from Love Liza, that movie? The guy killed himself who used to hold the boomstick. Philip Seymour Hoffman. He was in Boomstick. He was a sound guy in I think it was Dirk Diggler movie. What was that Mark Wahlberg where he had the 12-inch hog? And then there's a scene where Philip Seymour Hoffman's like gay guy and they see the hog and he's just holding the sound and he goes, ah. But anyways, that movie had nothing to do with this movie. He was a gasoline sniffer. I could see how I would go down that road. Like if someone's like, hey, take a whiff of this. And they hand me like a piece of cloth and they're like, it's got gasoline on it. I'm going to go, ooh. But I'm not going to get into that, whatever that fetish is or that high is. I just like the smell of it. But too much gives me a headache, so I don't want that. I don't like headaches. That's why I don't like edibles. Feel great in the moment, but afterwards I'm like, oh, I got a migraine, right? So, yeah, too anxious to be in the hardcore drugs, right? Like the idea of coke is great, but I don't want to live like I want that. I don't want you have to be like purely atheist to really enjoy coke, in my opinion, or believe in God and God will take, I'm like, oh, my heart can't handle this. God, I don't have those skill sets. But yeah, I'm not the fart guy, and I guess like major turnoff. Like you do one thing weird, like that's the thing. I've drooled in my ex while the only chick I dated while I was inside of her, and she thought it was so funny. She pissed the bed, but she didn't break up with me. If someone drooled on me, you're out of here. You're out of here and you're on the next episode of the fucking greatest podcast for elite losers telling why I left someone because they broke up with me. So anyways, that was that. Sends me the video and you go from being a 10 to like, man, you should live in some favela in some third world country. Disgusting. Just inhumane, right? Put you down before they put dogs down. So anyways, that happened, and that was kind of annoying. It's too good to be true. It's like money, right? When you think you have money coming on, you think you have money coming in, never it comes in. It's like too good to be true. When you're gambling, you're on a hot streak, you're like too good to be true. Eventually, I'm gonna lose it. When a 10 sneaks into my DMs, I like if a 3 or a 4 sneaks into my DMs, like you're really funny. I'm like, oh yeah, I mean this person's legit into me. If it's a 10, they're like, there's something crazy about them. I do get these like crazies with like 0 followers, 0 posts, or like they'll send me a DM right away, and they're like, show me your dick. I'm like, dude, you have no follow. Like, what's setup? What am I getting set up here for? what's gonna happen? I'm not. So I got out of that game too. Nobody. I think I've said that before, but I haven't eaten. And I sat in the cold plunge for 10 minutes today. It wasn't like super cold like Rogan, but it's enough where I feel kind of high right now. I'm like, that's what happens when you sit in the cold plunge. It does something. So we're gonna keep this short, but I just want to let people know that I'm not a fart guy. So if you're looking to send videos, first of all, I don't even accept them anyways. But if you're looking to send those kinds of videos, don't fucking send them to me. I don't want to see. I want to see your dirty feet. I want to hear your flatulations. If you're my buddy, let one rip. But if you're trying to like hook up with me, not my. But it's more annoying that I give off that vibe. That's a bad vibe to give off. For someone to look at me and know my content, which is fair, you're not wrong. You're not like. It's not one of these situations where it's like, whoa, you're insane. I'm not. For instance, Jim Gaffigan and doing clean comedy or Jerry Seinfeld, and their fans are sending them fart videos, right? I don't know what their fans send them. I'd be curious. But for what it's worth, I do think one of the two definitely loves to get squat over and someone farts in their face. I would guess. When you're doing clean comedy, you're into something weird. But anyways, yeah, that was the only thing I really wanted to talk about today. I had some other stuff, but that cold plunge is still like, I'm still like, haven't recovered, and I got to go pick up my laundry so I can put on a pair of shorts, and I have to go wear jeans, and it's 100 degrees. It is so hot out here. Oh, we'll say one more thing. You guys are here. You're paying your big money to be here. The real heat and the real cold gets rid of the homeless in New York City. But when I talk about it on stage, I'm like, yeah, I love the cold because it freezes out the homeless. People get irate. They're like, whoa, you shouldn't say that shit. And I feel that's the agreement we've made with the homeless in America. We don't care. Like, not me, I care. I bought a guy a water and a bag of chips a couple nights ago, and I had $70 to my name. So I'm a hero. But I feel that's the agreement people make, the people that go to comedy clubs. They don't care about the homeless as long as you don't make fun of them. That's the agreement. We don't give a shit about them, but at the same time, you can't fucking say nothing about them. And that's the agreement, because every time you bring up homeless in comedy clubs, there's pullback. And it's like, we will help out the Ukraine. We will help out people in Palestine, but we will not help out our fucking own. Homeless, I'm not even talking about like the traditional homeless, like the traditional liberal. I'm talking about the traditional homeless who has a sign that says, I'm a U.S. vet, help me out. And people are like, pah. I'm talking about the crazy homeless that are like doing meth and just like, walking around with dirty syringes. Those people, I don't know where they are. But they're not around when it gets super hot and super cold. And I personally go, pretty good. I like it. Feel a lot safer. I'm not upset that they could be perished. I'm just saying, like, hey, I feel safer right now at 2 a.m. But people, when they hear that in comedy clubs, they get really upset. Like, you shouldn't make fun of that. And I'm like, well, but nobody here really cares about them. And that's just based off how many millions are homeless in America. Like, nobody, I bet there is one person who, like, devotes their life work to helping the homeless in the comedy club. But nobody else does. I know that for a fact. We could solve homelessness tomorrow, yesterday, with all the money that we send to, and this is not like an original opinion. And I'm not saying don't send countries, well, actually I am. Don't send fucking countries money for war. I actually do think that. But what I'm saying is, homeless people, and I might have said this before, they don't have a flag. And so if you don't have a flag in 2024, nobody gets social brownie points. So if everyone's helping out Ukraine, there was a time like 2 years ago where everyone was on board with like helping out Ukraine. I never was. I was never against it, but I just was never on board. but people would change their profile. They'd hang their, they'd step over the homeless to hang their Ukrainian flags in the East Village in New York City. But so people would like, hey, look at me. I helped out Ukraine by hanging out this flag. There's some boy in Kiev right now, Kiev, looking at this flag. By the way, I said I was going to end this 5 minutes ago. Looking at this flag, and they feel safe 10,000 miles away because I hold this flag in the East Village. And I'm like, see, you can't. So you give $2 to the homeless, like I did $2.50. I bought a bag of $3. I bought him a water and a bag of chips. Small bag of chips. I went with the original because I thought maybe he might have some distaste towards barbecue or something. But I would have preferred vinegar. But it also would have made him, it was more salty. He would have needed more water. And I just didn't have the budget to get him 2 waters. But you can't just like if you give $5, what the homeless dude should do is like give you a flag or something. This way you can walk around. See, I'm a good person. I just did something now like this, like my posts, like me. I'm a hero. I've got the homeless. I always said the homeless flag should be a picture of a tree stick and a side of a cardboard box, and just taped together with used floss found in the garbage bag. But anyways, greatest podcast for elite losers. Thank you for tuning in. Much longer than we expected.